students, yesterday we have seen that the definition of field, definition of primitive polynomial, the definition of irreducible polynomial and some results related to that. Now we see that the Gauss lemma, the statement of the lemma is that let fx belongs to zx be a primitive polynomial. We know that the primitive polynomial, if the GCD of the all coefficients of given polynomial, if the GCD of all coefficients of given polynomial is 1, then we say that the polynomial is a primitive polynomial, provided that that polynomial should be defined over zx. Let fx be a given polynomial which is a primitive polynomial, then fx is reducible over q if and only if fx is reducible over z. Q is a set of rational number while z is set of irrational. We have to prove that if fx is a primitive polynomial, then it is reducible over q if and only if it is reducible over z. Firstly, we know that z is subset of q. Okay. Therefore, if fx is reducible over z, what is the meaning of that statement? Fx is reducible over z means fx can be written as the product of two non-constant polynomials. Suppose that polynomials are gx and hx. Means what? Fx is reducible over z means what? Fx is equal to gx into hx, where neither of gx and hx are constant polynomials. And these polynomials gx, hx belongs to the same field over z. Okay. Now these two are non-constant polynomials and fx is written as product of these two polynomials. Then we say that fx is a reducible polynomial over z. Now what is the given statement? Fx is reducible over q if and only if fx is reducible over z. First consider any one of the part of the lemma. Now we consider this part, fx is reducible over z. Suppose that fx is reducible over z. What is the meaning of that? Means fx is factored into two polynomials, gx and gx into hx, where gx hx belongs to again zx. Right? Now these polynomials belongs to zx, and being z is subset of q, zx is again a subset of qx. Means what? You are factorizing fx polynomial into two non-constant polynomials over q. You are factorizing the polynomial fx into the product of two non-constant polynomials over q. Means that polynomial fx, the reducible polynomial over qx. That's why if fx is reducible over z, then as z is subset of q, fx must be reducible. Fx must be reducible over q. Conversely, suppose the latter part is true and try to prove the first part. What is the latter part? Conversely, suppose that fx is reducible over q. Now, fx is reducible over q means what? Again, fx is factored into product of two different factors. Suppose for our convenience, there are two different factors. There may be three or more factors of fx. But now, consider fx is factored into two distinct factors. Means what? Fx is written as the product of two polynomials where both the polynomials are non-constant polynomials, and that same polynomials belongs to the field qx. We are assuming that fx is reducible over q, and we are factoring fx into two different product of two different factors, namely ux and vx, where ux and vx belongs to qx again. By definition of reducibility, this comes. Now consider the first factor of fx, namely ux. Write the factor ux as p by q into u dash of x, and vx is equal to r by s into v dash of x. Now v dash of x and u dash of x are not the derivatives of vx and ux. Remember that these are only the notations which are obtained as Now suppose the polynomial ux is of this form: x square by 3 plus 2x by 5, suppose, plus 3, or say plus 1. Now this is a polynomial. See that coefficient of this polynomial are 1 by 3, 2 by 5 and 1, and all the coefficients are rational numbers. I can take the common rational number so that the remaining polynomial belongs to z. I can take the common number, that is rational number, from this polynomial in such a way that the remaining polynomial has coefficient from zx. Okay. Now, how can you take the common rational number? Let us consider 1 upon 15, because LCM of this 3 and 5 is equal to 15. Now consider it is equal to 1 upon 15 in bracket. What remains? 5 into x square is 5x square plus 3 into 2, 6x plus 15. Now see, this 1 upon 15 is a rational number, and the polynomial inside this bracket has coefficients from set of integers. Okay, we have written that ux is equal to p by q into u dash of x, where this u dash of x is primitive polynomial. Because of what? If our ux polynomial is of this type, whose coefficients are from set of rational number, field of rational numbers, then we take a rational number common from this polynomial in such a way that the remaining polynomial inside this bracket is a polynomial from the set zx. Therefore, what is u dash of x in this case? This is equal to 1 upon 15 into u dash of x. What is u dash x? 5x square plus 6x plus 15. Now, therefore, ux is written as 1 upon 15 into u dash x, where u dash x is equal to 5x square plus 6x plus 15. Now see that this is a polynomial from zx, which is denoted by u dash x in this case. Now see that this polynomial u dash x is a primitive polynomial. Why? Because the GCD of all the coefficients of this polynomial u dash x is equal to 1. See the coefficients: 5, 6 and 15. 5, 6 and 15. The greatest common divisor. The greatest divisor for all the three integers is equal to 1. Right? Therefore, this polynomial is a primitive polynomial. Similarly, we obtain the polynomial v dash x from given factor vx. What we have? We have fx is equal to ux into vx, where ux dx belongs to qx. Okay. Now, obtain the polynomial u dash x and v dash x from the polynomials ux and vx respectively in such a way that ux can be written as p by q into u dash x and vx can be written as r by s into v dash x, where u dash x and v dash x are primitive polynomials in zx. Let us go to the next part. Hence, what is the value of fx? What is this equation? Then, if you will use the value of ux and vx, if you use this value of ux and this value of vx in the equation of fx, what you get? F of x is equal to, what is the expression for ux we obtained? P by q into u dash x, where p by q is a rational number, into r by s into v dash x. Now take the product of p by q and r by s. The product of rational number will again a rational number. Call that rational number as a by b. Therefore, fx is equal to, what remains? Ux into u dash x into v dash x. Fx is equal to a upon b into u dash x into v dash x. Now a by b is some rational number. Multiplying this equation by b, so that the next equation is b into fx is equal to a into u dash x into v dash x. Now see this equation carefully. What is given fx? What is the condition on fx? Fx is a polynomial in zx. Okay, it is a primitive polynomial. Therefore, the greatest common divisor of all the coefficients of fx must be 1. As soon as you multiply b to the polynomial fx, means you are multiplying each term of fx by b. Indirectly, you are multiplying each coefficient of fx by an integer b. Therefore, the greatest common divisor of b, the greatest common divisor of all the coefficients of the polynomial b into f of x is equal to b. Okay. Fx is a primitive polynomial and you are multiplying it by a constant number b, constant integer b. Therefore, you are multiplying each term of fx by b. Indirectly, you are multiplying each coefficient of the polynomial fx by b, and therefore the greatest common divisor of all the coefficients of b into fx is equal to b. Similarly, as u dash x and v dash x, what are u dash x and v dash x? Are primitive polynomial. U dash x and v dash x are primitive polynomials, and yesterday in last video we have seen that product of primitive polynomial is a primitive polynomial. Now which polynomials we have? We have u dash x and v dash x, two primitive polynomials. Therefore their product u dash x into v dash x is also primitive. Now multiply this product by an integer a. Again you are multiplying each term of this product by a, but this product is nothing but a primitive polynomial and you are multiplying that primitive polynomial by an integer a. Therefore, the greatest common divisor of all that coefficient of this polynomial is equal to a, right? Now see, this is the equation. Both sides should be same. The GCD of the left side is a and the GCD of the right side is b, and the polynomials fx and u dash x into v dash x both are primitive polynomials. This both sides should be equal. Therefore, we have a equal to plus or minus b. These integers must be same or negative of the another. Either b equal to a or b equal to minus a. If you put a equal to plus minus b in this equation, suppose this is equation number first, put a is equal to plus minus b, what you get? Fx is equal to plus or minus u dash x into v dash x. The remaining term is same, u dash x into v dash x. Therefore, fx is, what are u dash x and v dash x? They are primitive polynomials. U dash x and v dash x are primitive polynomial, hence their product is a primitive polynomial. And fx is written as a product of two primitive polynomials. Therefore, fx is reducible. Why it is reducible? Because these primitive polynomials, by definition of primitive itself, u dash x and v dash x belongs to set of integers. We are writing fx as a product of two non-constant polynomials over z. Remember that we are writing fx as a product of two non-constant polynomials over zx. Therefore, fx must be reducible over zx. Okay, this comes from what? U dash x and v dash x are primitive polynomials. Being primitive, they must be from the set of integers. Means these are polynomials in the set of integers and both are non-constant polynomials, because we have seen that ux and vx are non-constant and u dash x and v dash x are the part of the ux and vx obtained by taking a rational number common from each polynomial. Therefore, fx is a product of two non-constant polynomials where that polynomials belongs to zx. Therefore, fx is a reducible polynomial over z. What we proved now? We assumed that fx is reducible over q and we proved that fx is reducible over z. This is what the Gauss lemma. This is very important result. Gauss lemma. What is that lemma? Fx is a primitive polynomial. Then fx is reducible over q if and only if it is reducible over z. Let us prove another proposition. The proposition is given by let fx belongs to fx be a polynomial of degree 2 or 3, then fx is reducible. If and only fx has a root in f. Before going to proof, we revise some definitions. We know the definition of reducible polynomial. What is reducible polynomial? If fx belongs to the field fx and fx is written as product of two non-constant polynomials, namely gx and hx, where gx, hx belongs to fx. Then we say that fx is a reducible polynomial. What is given that? Fx is a polynomial of degree 2 or 3. Then we have to prove both the part of the proposition. If fx is reducible, then fx has root in f. Otherwise, if fx has root in f, then fx is reducible. Now consider the one part. What is the degree of fx? Given that degree of fx is equal to 2 or t. Suppose that fx is reducible polynomial. By definition of reducible polynomial itself tells that fx has two different factors, or maybe more than two factors. But now take fx is equal to product of two non-constant polynomials, f1x and f2x. Where f1 and f2x belongs to? Where f1x and f2x are non-constant polynomials in fx again. Fx is reducible, therefore fx is written as a product of two different polynomials which are non-constant, and the same polynomials belongs to the fx field. Capital Fx is a field. What is given that degree of fx is 2 or 3. We have the result on the degree of polynomial. What is that result? If fx is equal to gx into hx, then the degree of the polynomial fx is equal to degree of polynomial gx plus degree of polynomial hx. Okay. Now what is the degree of fx? It may be either 2 or 3. If it is 2, if the degree of fx is 2, what will be the degree of f1x and f2x? If fx has degree 2, then by this result, what is degree of fx? Degree of f1x plus degree of f2x in this case. Now what is the degree of fx? Given degree of fx is 2. If degree of fx polynomial is equal to 2, then this equation will become what? Degree of fx is equal to degree of f1x plus degree of f2x. What is this degree? 2, which is equal to, which are the possibilities? f1x has degree 2 plus f2x has degree 0. But we know that f2x is non-constant polynomial. Also f1x is non-constant polynomial. Therefore, the degree of f1 or f2x is not equal to 0 in any one of the case. Therefore, degree of fx is degree of fx is 2, then degree of f1x must be 1. And what is the remaining degree of f2x? To balance this equation, we have degree of f2x is equal to 1 again. Means what? If degree of fx is 2, then either f1x is a polynomial of degree 1 or f2x is a polynomial and f2x is a polynomial of degree 1. Degree of f1x is 1 and degree of f2x is 1. Now in second case, fx has degree 3. Suppose that degree of fx is equal to 3. By this condition, by this equation, what are the possibilities for degree of f1x and degree of f2x? 3 is written as 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1 or 3 plus 0 or 0 plus 3. But we know that f1x and f2x are non-constant polynomials. Therefore, these possibilities are not true. Now, in the first two cases, degree of f1x is 1 and degree of f2x is 2. Next case, degree of f1x is 2 and degree of f2x is 1. Means what? If degree of fx is 3, then from these two polynomials, f1x and f2x, there must be a polynomial whose degree is 1. Now, in any one of the case, degree of fx is 2 or 3, we have degree of f1x or degree of f2x must be 1. Now, consider that possibility for the degree of f2x and degree of f1x to be 1. What is the degree 1 polynomial? Linear polynomial. Therefore, consider f1x as a linear polynomial. You also consider f2x as a linear polynomial. Consider f1x is equal to ax plus b, which is a polynomial of degree 1. It has polynomial of degree 1. Keep on only the coefficient a should not be equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, then f1x will be only b, which is a constant polynomial. This is not a possible case. Therefore, consider a not equal to 0. Now, where f1x and f2x belongs to, f1x and f2x are non-constant polynomials in fx. So, mention that a, b belongs to f. Good. Now, this is the polynomial f1x. What will be the expression for fx then? Consider this is equation number 1. What will be the equation of fx? Therefore, fx is equal to, what is f1x? f1x is ax plus b into f2x. f2x depend on the degree of fx. If degree of fx is 2, then degree of f2x is 1. If degree of fx is 3, then degree of f2x will be 2, because this polynomial has degree 1 and it should have degree 2. Now fx is equal to x plus b into f2x. Now see that a non-zero and a belongs to f. What is f? F is a field. What is the property of field? By definition of field, every non-zero element has the inverse belongs to the same field. Therefore, A inverse exists and it belongs to the field F. Now, we have B also belongs to F. Therefore, the product B into A inverse also belongs to F. B belongs to field F, A belongs to field F. As soon as A belongs to F, its inverse belongs to F. Multiplicative inverse belongs to F because F is a field. Hence, the product B into A inverse belongs to F. As soon as B into A inverse belongs to F, its additive inverse also belongs to the same field here. Therefore, minus B A inverse belongs to F. Why we calculated this term? Because this will come to be root of the polynomial fx. See, f1 of minus b into A inverse. See the value. f1 of minus b into A inverse. Use x is equal to minus b into A inverse in this expression of f1x, in this polynomial. What is the result? This is equal to A. We are using the value of x only. X value as minus b into A inverse. Put that value minus b into A inverse plus b. Okay. Now, associativity property gives us A or minus b into A inverse plus b. What is this product? A into A inverse. It comes to be identity. This is equal to minus b into, consider 1 as identity, plus b. Identity into any element of that field is equal to the same element. Therefore, this is minus b plus b. Now, this is additive inverse of b. Minus b is additive inverse of b. Therefore, it is equal to 0. Hence, what we done? f1 of minus b A inverse is equal to 0. Means what? This implies minus b into A inverse is a root of f1 of x. f1 of some element, say alpha, is equal to 0. Means what? Alpha is root of that polynomial. F of some element alpha equal to 0 means alpha must be root of that polynomial. Hence, that satisfies the equation fx is equal to 0. Now, which is the root of f1x polynomial? Minus b A inverse is root of f1x. And the root belongs to the same field. Therefore, which polynomial is reducible over fx? f1x polynomial has a root in f. Therefore, f1x is reducible polynomial over f. Also, we have f1x means ax plus b is a factor of fx. Therefore, fx has a root in f. Therefore, as fx is equal to ax plus b into f2x and ax plus b has root, namely minus b A inverse in f. Therefore, fx also have root in f. For example, if fx is equal to x square minus 4 into some another polynomial, say x plus 3. Now see, this is first polynomial f1x, this is second polynomial f2x. For this polynomial, there is one root, namely 2, or you can take as minus 2 as another root. Now 2 is root of this polynomial, f1x polynomial. Therefore, 2 must be root of fx. And in this case, fx, this implies fx has a root in fx. Why it is in fx? Because we seen that minus b a inverse belongs to f. Therefore, root fx is reducible or it has root in fx. Conversely, now we have to prove the converse part also. Conversely, suppose that fx has root in f. Suppose that root is alpha. What is the meaning of this statement? Fx has a root alpha in f. Suppose fx is equal to x minus 1 into x plus root 2. Therefore, fx has root, you can easily find the root of this polynomial, 1 and minus root 2. These are roots for the polynomial fx. As soon as you know 1 is root of this polynomial fx, you write x minus 1 as a factor of fx. If 1 is root of fx, therefore x minus 1 must be factor of fx. Here alpha is root of fx, therefore alpha, x minus alpha must be a factor of fx. We have considered that alpha is root of fx in here, therefore as alpha belongs to here, then x minus alpha also belongs to fx. All the coefficients belongs to here. Therefore, as alpha is root in here, x minus alpha must be factor of fx. Therefore, fx is written as fx is equal to x minus alpha into some another polynomial, say gx. See, this is another polynomial. Why? Because fx has degree 2. If fx is equal to 2, because it is a quadratic equation. First polynomial has degree 1, second has degree 1. Fx is equal to x minus alpha into gx. What is gx? Gx is another factor of fx. Now degree of fx is either 2 or 3. If degree of fx is 2, this degree of x minus alpha, you know what is it? That degree 1, and gx will have degree 1 then. If fx has degree 2, fx has degree 3, then x minus alpha has degree 1, gx must have degree 2. Therefore, gx is a non-constant polynomial. Because of what? Either gx has degree 1 or gx has degree 2. Hence, where degree of gx is equal to either it is 1 or it is 2, depending on the degree of fx. Depending on the degree of fx. Means what? Gx is a non-constant polynomial. Now what we have to prove? We have to prove that fx is reducible. Now see, fx is a product of two polynomials, x minus alpha and gx. X minus alpha is a linear polynomial in fx, and gx is also non-constant polynomial, may have degree 1 or 2 depending on the degree of fx. Therefore, fx is a reducible polynomial. Therefore, fx is reducible polynomial. Thank you, students.